right? So for all the organizers, you have to have had at least, position yourself at 120 or 1200, 120 if you're organizing a $1,200 position, and $1,200 if you're organizing a bank itself. $1,200 gets you the organized position or a community bank position. So we need to verify those because we're going to pay the organizers. And so whoever raises their hand today as the organizer will end up with some HP token tomorrow. The reason why we got to have somebody verify that the things are paid, so they got to go check the spreadsheet, verify everything has been done, and then we'll pay those to you. The president is going to go ahead and explain to you some special things that we're going to do right now for organizers moving forward and the banks going forward. There's a lot to have happen right now, so we want to make sure that you get the most benefit, especially people that stood up first in the beginning. All right. So with that, let me turn over to the president and let him explain to you how the organizing position is going to work in terms of what we're going to compensate for right now and people that raise their hand in the next 24 to 48 hours for organizing. Here's what's going to happen. All right.
Okay, hello team, hello family again. It's here. Hello team, hello family again. So we'll go over some of the stuff again. You're going to see all of this in a presentation form or in a document form, PDF form, so you can read and look over it. We won't go over it. We'll go quickly now. Some of this is rewards for people who have already done banks, and also rewards for people who are doing banks going forward. Kind of how the banking system, how the pay bank for the banks are going to work. So again, the pay token for the banks, just like the pay token for the labor, is the HP token. HP token is $1 now. We have opportunity. We have investors who are willing to buy these back from you as well. So HP tokens, the pay token for the ecosystem. For the current organizers, so we're going to talk about the current bank owners first. For the current bank owners, everybody who's done current bank current bank shares, you're going to turn around and get 20%. You're going to turn around and get 20% in the HP token. So if you've purchased a bank for $12,000, you're going to get $2,400 in HP token. Everybody who's currently on so the early bank owners are going to get 20% in HP token. From there, you're going to get, for the banks, we said the banks are going to start making money. The banks are going to start HP token about it. It's given to you freely trading. So it's given to you unstaked, given to your account. There will be places to trade it, as well as people who want to buy it from you. So, but it's given to you free trading. For banks going forward, each existing bank, we have a weekly pay of 4%. So a weekly 4%. So even though people who were talking about, as we talked before, you get converted over from NFTs, that was a 4% per month of the NFTs. This is actually, we said, a bigger and better program, because you'll get 4% weekly pay from the banks, 4% weekly pay. That weekly pay is going to be given to you in HP tokens as well. So every week you get 4%, or again, if you have $12,000 in your bank, $1,000 in your bank, you'll receive 4% of that in weekly pay in HP tokens. That go every week, So every week you get a 4% pay. Now again, these trading tokens, you can take those tokens, you can sell those tokens, you can keep those tokens, or you can stake those tokens. If you stake those tokens give you extra free tokens in EcoNets. So the longer you stake your tokens, you get free tokens in EcoNets. So banks, all the current bank owners are going to get a 20% of in HP token, whatever they have in bank shares. If you have 120, you're going to get that'll be $24. If you have 12,000, you get 2,400. Number one. Secondly, all completed banks will get 4 weeks or 4% weekly. We're gonna date this back to the date of bank completion. So whatever your date of completion, you'll get all your 4% date back. I know some of you completed banks over a month ago, 2 months ago. Then you receive 8 weeks of 4%. And whenever your bank was completed, whenever it reached $12,000 and the full bank was completed, you're gonna get 4% from that. You get 4% from that time that the bank was completed. So, and then you'll get 4%, you have 4% for the next year from the time that all the banks are completed. So these 4% that you're getting now are like bonus 4%. So these are like bonus 4% because you finished the bank early. When the last bank is complete, then that's going to start a 1-year process of getting 4%, guaranteed 4% for the 52 weeks, which is over 200%, over 200% just in the 4%. Not in plus the community staking that you're going to get 65%. Plus, if you stake these tokens, you're going to get free EcoNet tokens. That's why, again, the banks are where all the action at. The banks are where the action at. Well, we're moving you people to the banks because the banks is where the action at. And so 20% for people already completed the banks, 20% for current bank shares, 4% for all completed banks. We're going to backdate to 4%. We're going to backdate to 4% to the time at which your bank is completed. When the last bank is completed, there's going to be 52 more weeks of 4% after that. So 1 year of 50, which is another 208% on top of the other 4% you got, on top of the 65% you got for community staking, on top of your ability to stake these and get free EcoNet tokens. Okay. Now, next, from an organizer position, so from an organizer position, you're the organizers. The point of organizing was to get 10% override on the bank. When the organizer get 10% override on the bank. So in addition to that, we're going to give you 10%. We'll give you 10% of HP tokens. So when you organize someone, i.e., I put in 1,200, I get somebody else to put in 1,200. 10% of that is 120. Each time you get somebody to put in, contribute, you're going to get 10% of that in HP token. So I have 1,200. I've organized the bank. I put in 1,200. Somebody else, I guess the next person put in 1,200. I'm going to get 100. I'm going to get 120 HP tokens. Again, those tokens I can sell, I can keep, I can stake and get free EcoNet tokens. So for each person organized, again, we're going to pay all the back organizers who organized before. We're going to pay them an HP token as well, give them the 10% going backwards, and 10% going forward until the banks are closed out. So that means if you organize a whole bank of 12,000, you're going to have $1,200 worth of EcoNet tokens that are yours, free to sell, free to trade, free to stake, to get free EcoNet tokens. Okay. These tokens effectively, again, are for our banking tokens, but they also serve as the pathway to get EcoNet. You get EcoNet tokens. Okay. Additionally, so organizers will have a special bonus for the next 15 banks. So we'll have a special bonus for the next 15 banks. We're putting that together now. We're communicating that in the bank organizer group, because we have a bank organizer group. If you want to be a bank organizer, you now haven't signed up to be a bank organizer now. You want to be a bank organizer for these last 80 or so banks we have. I think we had 90 and some people committed. We have 80 or so banks we have. If you want to be a bank organizer, you need to let Jamal, Dr. Kraft know, get you in the group and get you started bank organizer. To be a bank organizer, you have to do your first contribution, which is 120 or 1,200, and then you have to get somebody to get started organizing, right? Because these positions are going to go quick, and the ones that are closed up will come back around and have to get closed up. But you, as a bank organizer, you're going to get 10% in HP token for everybody you organize. If you complete your bank, you only get 10%. You get 10% override over the bank. So
for every bank position that comes in, whether it be 120 or 1,200, 20%. Right?
No, the bank gets 20%. The bank gets 20%. The person who's buying the bank share gets 20%. The organizer gets 10%.
Got it.
So the bank, whoever's buying the bank shares, a bank token, they get 20%. The organizer gets 10%.
Got it. Okay. All the previous organizers got 20% back early.
Mm-hmm.
All the previous organizers got 20% back early.
Right. So that creates the momentum then and the reward for people who are helping organize the banks and people who are getting the banks, because the banks is a critical piece of our system. So with that being said, we're going to go in the bank organizer group here shortly and give you the details for the special for the 15 first banks, that 15 first bank equivalents, i.e. 15 first banks, or the equivalent. So if you're 3 or 4 bank shares and you're part of the first 15 first groups they create the equivalent of 15 banks, then you're gonna get the bonus. We're gonna put the bonus in the bank organizer groups. We have that in the bank organizer group within the hour. And then we're gonna make sure that everybody gets their HP for the banks they've already done, for the organizing they've already done, and for the organizing they've done. So with that, that's that. We're gonna get this going. Everybody, the first 15 is gonna have something super special bonus, because we need to cross that line so we can do some of our strategy and what we want to do with the overall plan of how we go ahead and make Humanity Protocol become a $1 billion company in the next couple of weeks and be recognized as such and be see it in crypto world as such. So with that, I want to turn back over to Jamal so he can close out. We'll see you in the bank organizer group. Everybody else, we will see you tomorrow on the call. We'll have information on how you get in the proper communication tree, how you get your conversions done, how you do it, what other actions you can do over this 30-day period to make sure that we win this game and create both financial resources for us, but ultimately the big thing, continue to have a much better, bigger chance to help people all over the world who need help. That's what humanity is about. Thank you. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
All right, guys. So yeah, we're not going to stay too long, but we really appreciate you again. The organizers, as we mentioned before, is really, really, really about what our need is, as we explained before, is we need the people to organize the banks, because that's the master chiefs, that's the generals that essentially govern and direct humanity. The organizers, the directors, guardians of directors, and so we need to put this together. Now, the reason for the 15 banks, and I told people to hold yesterday because wartime rules, we got to do things a little bit differently, and so you don't need to stake through that method, because that method slows things down. It takes a bunch of commissions out. I'm being completely transparent with you guys, and a large part of what we're going to do with those 15 banks is that we provide liquidity and everything else for the big launch. Yeah, provide liquidity and everything else for the HP tokens that people are receiving to help to expedite that process. Again, in the beginning of Bitcoin and having liquidity, the people were the exchange, but that's to expedite that. In addition, it also helps to pay people in Africa. I know everybody here wanted to help pay people in Africa, right? Stake to them and everything like that. So what we're going to have to do, again, I'm just being really transparent so everybody understands what's happening. We're going to give you a wallet to send directly to for the organizers and for the banks, because we're going to do special deals, special commissions for them. So we can't run it through the particular part. So this 15 banks we want to run through this particular method to give us the capital to do everything we need to do very, very quickly, so that we can get the launch quickly, so we can hit them back with our seasons, everything else that we got. I don't want to say because the call is recorded. I don't know where it's going to go, but that's what we plan to do. Okay, so for the
number 2 is that everybody who's supposed to get commission,
right,
we're gonna back you up. We're gonna come back to the commission, so you will get those.
Yep.
You will get those in
yep.
Like everybody.
Yep.
So you will get the.
Yeah. Exactly. So then basically, so I know because we're not running through the staking part, the community staking process that we would usually. Some people won't get that particular commission then, but we're going to go ahead and backstake everything else afterwards. But if we run it through the traditional the other way that we were doing it before, it slows it down, and every day that we lose is a day we losing ground, right? So we have to go this particular method. That's what we're going to do, a special for the next 15 banks. Everybody's going to still get the SRS and everything staked to them, and come back and do that. But we got to get liquidity and everything else into HP. We got to get everything launched and get it off the ground. So we're going to drop in the organizers group, a wallet you can use Matic. We don't have time. We can't take credit cards and everything else. So, get with your organizers, get with the wire and Zelle, but not credit cards, right? And we'll give you information about how to do that. But we have to do that quickly so we can get the launch. We have to get everything done in the next week, guys. We got a 30-day run. This week gets us launch off the ground. It gets the airplane off the ground. When we say we're on the runway, it gets the airplane off the ground, gets us airborne, And then once that happens, or we get the ships off the carrier, we get the planes off the carrier, then we're airborne, and then we can do everything we need to do because we're already airborne, right? So that's it. The whole system is up, is running. The organizers, the community, the entire community, this is our thing to do right now because it's not Marcus's mine. We can't fight a battle by ourselves, right? As much as we like to believe so, we need the entire community. Even if you just, every single hand needs to man some kind of gun so we can move forward, all right? So with that being said, if you're not in the organizers group, I'm gonna post a link for it. Get in the organizers group. Don't use the regular staking. If you use regular staking, it's fine, but you won't be able to get any of the additional benefits because we got to pull it from there so we can get the money to put the bonuses and everything else. So we got to put it in right now.
So to be everybody be clear.
Yep.
You can't use regular staking.
Yep.
That's the only you got the same program until we get the HD token. This won't be in the 15. This won't be in the 15 bonus thing.
Okay. So the president just said,
that's it. You can't use the regular staking. You can't do it the regular way. You just won't be in the 15 bonus banks. You still gonna get the HP. You still gonna get the 20%. You still gonna get the 4%. You still got everything in the program. So it's not that we're just doing something special for this 15 so we can get this campaign and what we need to get done.
Yep, that's our battle treasury, guys. Right? Because through the contract, it is already set at all other places it goes. It doesn't give us automatically goes to liquidity, automatically goes to all these other places, automatically goes to commission, automatically goes to all these places. So it takes before we can use anything in the company, it takes about 50-60% out of all the money. So that process will take a lot longer. So that's why we're going to do something special for the people who have the next 15 banks, right? Because that'll do everything we need in the next week and we'll be ready to go. Right. So with that being said, let me stop this recording